America, but occurs in the U.S. only in southern Florida, where it is rare. Mangrove and cypress are its haunts, but it can be seen soaring at great heights. The light phase is snowy white below, except for several dark bands in the tail. The dark phase is more common in Florida and is identified by sooty black underparts and wing linings. The light and dark phases may interbreed, but they do not produce young of intermediate color. In flight, Swainson's hawk is distinguished from a squadron of confusing western buteos by the long pointed wings and the long tail. The dark phase is told from other melanistic western buteos by the buff undertail coverts, and again by the long pointed wings. There are confusing gradations of color between the light and dark phases. The light phase is dark brown above, rusty brown on the upper breast and around the white throat, and white below. There is dark concentric banding on the undersides of the wings and tail. The primaries are dark, in contrast to the light wing linings, an opposite pattern from that on all other North American buteos except for the white-tailed hawk. At rest, the long primaries reach below the tail. Immatures of the light phase are variably mottled buff below. Dark phase immatures resemble adults. Swainson's is numerous across the Great Plains and in the arid West during the breeding season. Most winter in Argentina. In flight, the white-tailed hawk holds its long wings in a shallow V, like a turkey vulture. The light underparts and wing linings contrast with the dark flight feathers. The tail is short, with a bold black band near the tip. The white-tailed hawk wears a rusty shawl across its gray upper parts. Immatures are sooty dark with white blotches below and have dark wing linings. Widespread in South and Central America, the white-tailed hawk reaches the coastal prairies of Texas. It hunts rabbits and rodents, sometimes gathering to take small animals fleeing grass fires. The zone-tailed hawk closely resembles the turkey vulture. This similarity might be a mimicry, permitting this buteo to approach its prey in the guise of a harmless scavenger. The two-toned wings are long, narrow, and held in a shallow V. The tail is long and narrow, and the plumage is blackish, except for several light bands in the tail. Along wooded canyons and the slopes of desert mountains, the zone-tailed hawk glides, rocking and tilting, vulture-like, then plunges for a rodent or reptile. Within the zone-tailed hawk's range, scrutinize any turkey vulture for a feathered head. The massive, hulking form of the red-tailed hawk in a tree or on a pole is a common sight across the U.S. The red tail has adapted to almost every habitat south of the permafrost, though it shows a preference for open country. Sometimes heckled by smaller birds, it hunts soaring or still hunts from perches, swooping for rats and snakes. The light form, most widespread of several, is dark brown above, whitish, and variably streaked below. The streaking often concentrates in a belly band, leaving the lower abdomen and legs clear. A reliable in-flight identifier on all the lighter forms is the dark leading edges. The upper surface of the tail is brick red, with a narrow dark band near the tip on adults. The immature's tail is gray-brown with fine barring. This molting red tail, captured for banding, is losing its juvenile tail feathers. The light form may occur anywhere in the red-tailed hawk's range and is the only form common in the east. One western race has a dark phase, which is a uniform dark reddish-brown. Another western and northwestern race called Harlan's occurs only as a melanistic form. A third, Kreider's, is a pale version of the eastern race. The ferruginous hawk is the largest North American buteo. Its name comes from the rusty upper parts and thighs of adults. The soaring adult appears white below, except for the chestnut thighs, a mark absent on the otherwise similar immature bird. The long wings are held slightly above the horizontal. A very small percentage of this rather rare buteo occurs as a dark phase. It is told from the befuddling array of other dark western buteos by the pale, unbanded tail. The ferruginous hawk hunts ground squirrels and prairie dogs on the Great Plains, soaring or perched on fence posts. The rough-legged hawk soars on long wings held in a shallow V, or it may quarter low like a harrier, often hovering. There are light and dark phases with variation between individuals. Light phase birds have a light head and are mostly pale below except for a distinct blackish belly patch. The tail is white with a broad band near the tip. There's a dark patch at the wrist. The rarer dark phase usually shows some white at the base of the primaries and a pale base to the tail. The roughleg breeds in the extreme north and is most numerous in the U.S. in winters when Arctic rodent populations are low.